Welcome to SOM, the School of Magic. Today we're going to be talking about the Hermetic principle of mentalism. This principle states that all is mind. This principle or law dictates that all of creation exists in the mind of God. Everything, every creation, every being, every structure was at one time a thought inside the mind of God. This thought or this mental image in reality is a vibration. We're going to learn that our body is electromagnetic and that through quantum physics we can measure different vibrations, including our own electromagnetic field. Our thoughts, our emotions, our organs, they all have vibrations that can be measured today by science. Okay? So we know that our body is electromagnetic. And we know that every organ produces energy, and all these combined produces our vibrational field. And it's this vibrational field that is the language of our craft. It's the language of the universe. And of course, I'm referring to the principle of vibration. And we're going to learn about that next week. But I need to explain that in the most basic sense in order to understand the principle of mentality. Okay? In order to explain this, I'm going to go back to the Bible. And I told you that I'll be using the Bible as a reference at times. And no, you do not have to be a believer in the Bible or in any one religion. But it is a good source to teach from. I do reference the Bible being a Gnostic Christian. You do not have to believe in the Bible or even in God in order to understand or to subscribe to the things that I teach. But the Bible says that God spoke the universe into existence. Where God said, let there be light. And there was light. Let there be land, let there be water, let there be fowls of the air, etc. And the Bible also says that we were created in God's image. So we as human beings, if we were to speak, we first need to have a thought, correct? So if we are made in God's image, and thus we are like God, then utilizing the principle of correspondence, then God is also like us. So if we have to have a thought to speak, then God also has a thought in order to speak. Okay? So it's this thought, it's this vibration of God that began everything. Because before God spoke, there was emptiness, there was vastness, there was darkness, there was nothing. There was a great void. But God had a thought. So this vibrational field, just imagine this energy coming from this being and just filling every piece of space in our universe as we know it today. And then he spoke. Let there be light. And it's the masculine energy, the projective energy of his voice, spellings. Our voices have power that told that energy, that God particle, that original thought of God that went out before he spoke, what to do, how to manifest. And it did. And it continued to manifest. And every word ever spoken will continue to manifest. You see, we all do magic because we're all made in God's image, regardless if we know it or not, regardless if we believe it or not. But we all do magic regardless if we know it or not as well. Because we all speak and our words have power. We all think and our thoughts have vibrations. So we're constantly utilizing alchemy in changing the matter that's around us, that God particle, God's original thought, to form to our will. But see, the problem is we have resistance. When God first had his original thought, there was no resistance, meaning there was nothing else vibrating in our universe. So his thought, his vibration, his energy was able to fill every void known to man. And then he spoke, let there be this and let there be that. And then once things were formed, they too had vibration. Because everything vibrates. The chair you sit on vibrates. Your heart vibrates. The floor you walk on vibrates. So now they had their own vibrational fields. And over time, more and more things manifested. So now here you are, speaking and vibrating and creating magic regardless if you know it or not. And you want to manifest something. So you said, I want this, and you speak a spell or you say a word and you try to manifest it, and your energy goes out, but it's immediately met by resistance. The resistance of everybody and everything around you. Because you're a co-creator of your universe. The other creators is everything else around you. You have to learn to be powerful and masculine and masterful in your energy projection, so that when you energy fight, or when your thoughts and your words and your vibration meets resistance, you are the one that's being dominant, that's winning that battle. And we're going to talk about ways to do that. But your vibrations are meeting resistance all around you. And if you're passive in your magic, the more likely you're losing that battle, and you're sort of just becoming a Rice Krispie in the bowl of life, I guess. That's a bad analogy, but picture yourself as a Rice Krispie, and you don't really have any say of where you go. You get twirled around and spun around in the bowl until eventually you die and you get eaten, which simply means you change your matter. You change into something else. Okay? So we are all but a vibration of God's original thought. Practitioners we used to call this the God particle. You see, creation is not done by anything that has physical properties. God or spirit itself cannot create using outside materials, because God is the all, it's the source. There's nothing outside of itself from which to create. It all had to start somewhere, and Hermetics believe it all started with God's thought. God, or the all, does not create through replication, does not create through sex as we know it, like our human bodies do, through the birthing process. Since the all cannot be separated, because God is one, think of it like the Trinity, there is separation. God's thought came out, that's the separation right there. And everything is made up of God. That's why we are children of God. Everything is made up of God. Everything is made up of that God's original thought. We call that the quantum atom. We're all made from the same substance that's scientifically proven today through quantum science. You are made up of the same substance as your television set and as the computer you sit behind. It's made up of the same things, just at different vibrational states. So God can be separated, just like can't be separated, but yet he can. God is one. Think of the Trinity, for example. God is separated, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, yet they are one and the same. The same is true for God's original thoughts. Although separated, they are all the same. These God particles are more like a replication, sort of like a hologram. Some of you guys might have studied things such as the holographic universe. And if you haven't, we will. I will be touching on that. Therefore, the all, or God, creates mentally. We need to create mentally. This means that matter, or things that are compromised of mass, in itself is not a creator. Your physical body, your hands, your eyes, your brain, etc., are not responsible for the act of creating, for they're only matter. It's your mind that provides the vibration that's necessary for creation. And it's the action of speaking of words, either yours or somebody else's, or it's the action of another vibration being projected, masculine, into your feminine energy of your thought that changes that matter. we need to learn how to change that matter around us, that God particle, those quantum atoms around us at will. That is magic. So since God or the Spirit creates with the mind, and since we are a reflection of Spirit, we too create with our mind. This, of course, is related to the principle of correspondence, to be discussed later. So how can we use this principle in our life? How can we start looking at this and start becoming better practitioners? Well, let's keep it simple. And then we'll progress and become more advanced as we go through these lessons. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you're getting. If nothing changes, nothing changes. You're probably watching this video because you're motivated to change some things in your life. You want something better for yourself. In order to do that, we need to challenge our baggage. We need to challenge our upbringings and our morals and our values. These are all related to our conscious mind, our humanity. And a lot of this stuff is holding you back. And a lot of this stuff, our values, our morals, even though we might think they're good, they hold us back and we need to release them. That's why I gave you the exercise last week with accept and reject. And since you are a reflection of Spirit, and Spirit is eternal, it is never too late to create what you desire. We need to accept the fact that all you have and all you have ever come in contact with is a creation of the mind, of your mind. You are the one that's creating your reality. Every good thing and every bad thing that ever has happened to you, you at least were a co-creator of that. I know that might be a very difficult pill to swallow. So if you created your past, you can also create your future. So I challenge you to use your mind. Use it to create deliberately. Stop being passive. Use your practice to evoke changes in your life. And I encourage you to start immediately. You will learn that in order to do that, we need to change our vibrations. And we're going to learn how to exactly do that next week. Next week's lesson is going to be very hands-on. It's going to be pretty scientific. And I'm going to be using science a lot in these lessons. I'm going to be talking about scientific experiments and showing videos and using other media to show you that I'm not just talking out my butt. So next week we're going to talk about the principle of vibration. That it's all about vibrations. We must learn to monitor our vibrations. Monitor the vibrations we send out to the universe and monitor the vibrations that we receive from the universe. We are going to learn how to have greater mastery of the self through the regulation of the vibrations that you emit and that you receive. And therefore, what you are creating and what you are attracting will have more meaning to you. So I hope you join me next week. My name is Anthony, and I've been your teacher. If you enjoy these videos, please make sure you subscribe. Please make sure you hit that little bell down there so that you can get alerted when we have new videos. I do have some homework for you. Please continue to accept and reject from last week's video. Accept the things that you are in agreement with and reject the things that you are in a disagreement with. Get in the habit of challenging your beliefs and your values and your morals, your conscious mind, and projecting your energy out. I accept that. I reject that. You must speak it. Your words have power. If you can't speak it because you're at work or anything, then say it under your breath. But still say it. Put that vibrational state out there. Learn how to energy fight. Your new homework is I want you to take a look at your social media. Take a look at your Facebook. Take a look at your Twitter accounts. Take a look at the things that you're in contact with online. Take a look at the music you're listening to. Take a look at the movies you're watching. How are they affecting your vibrational state? If nothing changes, nothing changes. If you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you're getting. You don't have to see things in order for it to affect your vibrational state. Only your subconscious does. I'll see you next week.